what his deal is, why his score is so bad against me, because, as I said, he just seems to make like one move mistakes, like usually after getting good position. Here's a tough decision. Which way do I take here? I guess with a pawn now. I'm not sure Neverness is, needs to take on d6, but this is a pretty random position, I have to say. Pretty random. I'm not sure. It looks like black's equal, but I don't think anybody can really claim an edge. I think something weird happened again, right? We lost the stream again, the board again. All right, I'll try to bring it back up. We've had all kinds of weird stuff going on. I think it's my internet. Let me try to bring it back up. So, window capture up. Okay, let me resize it. This never happens. I don't know, like, why this is going on today. It's a little too big, actually. So, let's see. Should be able to see the score. That's about all we need. Alright, and video capture device, order up. Yeah. So, guys, I don't know. Looks like we're just dropping the stream sometimes here for some reason. So you just opened up the long diagonal for my bishop on g7. I can take on c4, but that's bringing the queen to hit my bishop on f3. Feels like, man, it feels like I should play c5, although knight c5 is also interesting. This looks really dangerous for white. Knight c5. Wow. Actually, he has knight c5, queen a3, b4, queen takes. So just queen a3 there. It's pretty much the only move. I don't know, man. Wow, d5 is a strange move. He wants to put a knight on d4. Just c5 is also good. Like, I have a good Benoni here. US computer are inferior to EU computer. No, it's the same computers. That's not an issue. Same computers. I brought them with me. No, it's definitely my wonderful Comcast internet. I'm pretty sure about it. Now, Neverness, I thought I played this sort of gambit style. But maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I made a big mistake here. What if I pin him? If I just pin him right away? Maybe it's better to pin him right away. Man, it looks like we have really good Benko style play. I don't know. I had other options that were possibly better. Just very little time to decide. Am I streaming tomorrow? You gotta go mod for a friend. No, I'm streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays. So tomorrow is other stuff. Tomorrow's a rest day for my stream. But thanks for the game, man. Sorry I made a stupid blunder. It looked like you had really good chances to beat me, like, on your own. I never like to end the game like hanging a rook or something like that. I think that I was getting outplayed or had been outplayed in that game. A4 is sort of like a no-brainer. I need to find something good. I guess I have to take on f3. If I take on f3, he has to lose the b2 pawn. Or allow some other kind of counterplay. But I feel like I'm really not really my best form. I need to play more off stream. I think that's my problem. I'm kind of rusty. Okay, bishop. I don't want to lose another pawn, so I'm going to take on b5 first. We have a good structure, but takes this way. Bishop takes. But it looks like white is a little better here. I misplayed this horribly again. Had a good position. d5 was like a kind of crazy move by Neverness, I thought. Really kind of crazy move. And now I'm sort of suffering here. Bishop d4. Knight e5. Knight e5 and bishop d4. This is becoming... I think this is going to become the key idea. I have to really try to use my c-pawn quickly. But this is a very tactical situation. I don't know. Queen h3. He's sort of trying to set up mates and stuff. I don't want to see that. Although I'm being a little bit paranoid. If I let him play queen h6, bishop f6, I'm going to be gone in short order. So, trading queens leaves us in a kind of unclear ending. Wow. That move. And what is up here? 2 minutes to his 1. Knight g4 at the very least would allow rook e8, queen takes, and knight takes h6. I don't know about this, guys. I don't really like this game either. Now he played this. Probably. Man, queen takes. This is getting sharp. Rook takes d4. Pawn takes d4. Rook e8. Take. 2 rooks for the queen. I don't know. And at the safest line. (7-5) though, there's a lot of time. You're drunk. No problem. Future Chess GM. Go Me Chess. Future Chess GM. Go Me Chess. Who's Go Me Chess? Is it a computer? Why do you ask? Just curious. Is Go Me Chess some kind of computer? What am I doing here exactly? Not a game I'm really happy with. I actually missed a4, I have to admit, when I played rook b8. I would have played a different line. Once he played a4, he's slightly better. And I don't think this is the greatest. And that line actually there, he could have gone for rook takes d4 last move, I thought, honestly. Like, why not rook takes d4 last move, Neverness? I don't understand. I mean, that looked really strong. Now things are like far from clear. He's got some compensation for the exchange, but bishop f6 threatening the quick mate. So queen takes f3, rook takes e5, queen d1 check. Doesn't really work. What if I take on b5, take on f3? Take on b5, take on f3. That looks sort of silly, doesn't it? What's the point of that, you know? How about just pushing my pawn? Something a little more logical. Looking at fancy stuff. Focus, you know. I'm having trouble focusing because I haven't been playing a lot of Blitz off stream, I think. Then I jump on the stream, but it's not like riding a bike. I mean, I need to play a little bit more off stream. Seems like I'm definitely feeling a little rusty. So rook takes b5 at some point to get him off my guy. Do you have any kind of tactical tricks here? Not a lot of time. e4 doesn't help. Rook d5 doesn't help. (22, 21, 20). Am I still up a pawn? No. Oh, he found queen c4 like instantly. Neverness. I'm so disappointed. Queen c6. The 5-second increment is suiting Neverness well. I didn't remember he was like a 5-second increment guy. Looks like that's the case. What is up with this now? Check. We need to really use these 5-second increments. Oh, you're going out there. Wow. Queen f6. Seems like he's using the 5-second increments better than me. He's making better use of his 5-second increments. Because I'm not playing enough quick blitz. This is a draw. Yeah. Terrible game. So let me know if anybody else got dropped from the challenges. 4-2. I'll play it, although I normally insist on 5. The rook e8 was strong for white. It wasn't a good game. I'm not happy with the stream today. Let's mix it up a little bit. Actually, I'm not going to do something crazy. Alright, c6. I almost played the Alekhine. It's 4-2. When I go on tilt, I start playing really sharp openings, but I think it's probably not the right idea. Alright. It was rated, you lost rated points. That's life, man. I deserve to lose rating points. I definitely deserve it. It was a poor game by both sides, in my opinion. A very poor game. We both made a lot of mistakes in this game. Just very routine. 7 Hunt from Romania. Cool. Nice to see some players hanging out really late. Anyway, what I don't like to do is lose rating points when I forfeit without making a move, like in a arena tournament. But I like to know that the rating system is accurate. So if I can't beat somebody I'm supposed to beat, then I deserve to lose rating points. I am not really playing good form. Okay, Caro-Kann idea. We get the c5 break in. he's having a little trouble with this pin, and I think, you know, therefore he didn't want to make like queen b3 or make a move like that. Bishop e5. So that's a solid move. Caro-Kann actually a pretty tough opening to play for a win with. And it's one of the reasons why I sort of, I won't say I gave it up, but I definitely don't play the Caro a lot. Bishop e5 is a solid, really solid move. Let's just develop some pieces. 4-2 is a little fast. Game is rated 2. Thanks, guys. 7 Hunt. He's 1900. A relatively new account with like 100 games. This time control is too fast. I made an exception, but I would normally play only 5, 3, 7 Hunt. So this is like too fast for the stream, but I'm making an exception. Usually I lose rating points when I do things like that. That's how I lost to Justice Bot when I accepted his challenge of 8-0 and flagged with like bishop against pawn. I was kind of, yeah, Justice, because I shouldn't, you know, accept challenges that go against my normal modus operandi. Oh, Justice Bot is here. I didn't know that, Justice Bot. I didn't mean to drag it out again. But they're talking about time controls that like I normally don't play. I thought that was funny. 4-2. I'm accepting. You're like, that's all he thinks about. Actually, didn't notice you were here. But this is the last game. The first game I played with 4-2 like on the stream. I'm always playing like at least 5-3. So I know something bad is going to happen, because I never play this time control. Obviously 4-2 is a pretty easy time control to play if you're used to it, but this guy looks pretty solid, man. He's actually using more time than me. Don't forget it. I won't forget it. But I did go against my rule, you know, of playing with increment, and it's my fault, you know. I should be faithful to my rules. Knight d5, hitting c3. A little bit of weakness in White's position. I'm a little bit out of it tonight. Maybe too much time on the beach today. I don't know. My maybe a little too much sun softened up my brain. The crab bite. I want to play c4, make that work somehow. Break up the pawn structure. Create some dynamism here. But how do you do that? Trading queens. What a great idea. Playing for a win by trading queens. Let's try this kind of funky move. Queen a7. Couple of ideas. I'm proud of this. This is at least like thinking outside the box a bit. Justice with his WIM count. He has a WIM account on ICC. That's just so wrong. Queen a7 now. Stopping all the fun. Knight. Knight b4. I mean, what am I going to do? Gotta pay attention here. This guy is like... Alright. He's serious. He's trying to kill me. I've got nothing against his king. This is a Justice Bot approved position. I mean, he weakened his king side, but who cares? Because he's got, like, I've got no pieces over there to attack it. So looks fine for White, actually. I've got no tricks with like b5. No tactics. Maybe now bishop takes d4. I didn't even see that. That's good. And that takes all the fun out of the whole thing. Queen a8. This is an original move. 7 hunt. You guys are too young to remember duck hunt. Look at that bishop e6 move. It's sealing my queen in. Oh my god, I'm like gonna lose. This is ridiculous. Alright, queen b8. Sunstroke and a crab infection. What is up with this? We're still too compact for you to hurt me, man. We're just too compact, I think, here with black. That bishop's got to go, though. This guy is just not cool. We're super compact. And you have some weaknesses, although it's not really relevant yet. Could become relevant. It looks like we want to fight for our right to control the D file. Right, and now we've got to try to look how well this guy's playing. Queen e5. This is a 2-second increment, which is usually not a lot, you know, to deal with. Where am I going to go now? Queen e2. I think I'm having hallucinations. Now he's on that square a lot, but we have e5, which probably wasn't what he had in mind when he played that move. Queen e3 now. So queen takes pawn, or what? '29, 28, 27. Understand how this guy is like 1900. All right. Dangerous, but it's a double pawn. Yeah, let's play check. Queen a5. He's gonna beat me on time, dude. I feel dirty. That's like terrible. Very lucky to win that. Wazir power. 4-2 is not allowed. Not allowed. You were totally winning, I think. With a B pawn, it's Caro-Kann nightmare. Extremely well played. Everybody's like beating me up. So, yeah, just play for cheapos. That's what we learned with 4-2, right? Just make cheap moves that attack rooks, and you'll take it down. That's what it's all about, like one move threats, right? That's why I play 5-minute minimum with increment, so that we can play a game that's based on more than one move threats. The one move threat finally, you know, decided the game. Really deep. All right. This variation, I don't know if I told you guys, I'm kind of like the person who is responsible for this becoming fashionable. It was played as far back as 1990 by Grandmaster Roy DeMasso, but maybe he's an IM still, but anyway, maybe it wasn't Damaso, it was his colleague, yeah, Grandmaster Luis Gallego, or Gallego, but it went hidden for a long time, and then in like 2006 or so, I played a couple games of this, and they went in the database, and then I stopped playing chess regularly. And next thing I know, like, Bishop F5 is a super trendy variation. So I didn't invent it, but I do take responsibility for, or take credit for popularizing it. Bishop to B5 check. We have seen this quite a bit in the C3 Sicilian from time to time. And I always like to argue that it's kind of wrong. But I think in this position where I've moved my white square bishop out already, it seems somewhat valid. If this bishop was on C8, I could go bishop D7. I would say, yeah, he's just trading his good bishop, trying to help me, or helping me, like, get rid of a kind of problem piece. But need some water. But here, where my bishop's out already, bishop B5 is just another of many possibilities White can try here. Welcome everybody who arrived recently. Even 101 movers are found. Yeah, in most cases, not always. Bishop B5. So, quick development is the order of the day for White. Maybe knight D7 rather than knight C6, because the knight on D7 seems like it's more secure somehow, protected by all these pieces. It's kind of a weird explanation. You might say knight C6 is more natural and it puts pressure on D4, but I'm a little concerned that I'm going to have issues with the knight C6, knight E5, queen A4 type of stuff. But I'm just winging it. I haven't looked at bishop F5 in a long time. Was talking about it with a Serbian master, Radovanovic, at Zalakaros. He was like, you know, you're the one that started this thing with bishop F5. Now, 10 years later, and nobody still knows like how to get an edge with White. I was like, are you kidding? I haven't looked at that in forever, and I thought there must be like a million ways for White to get an advantage against bishop F5. Actually, I have a teammate on my Hungarian team. This guy, Prorok Martin, and he was playing it for our team. I guess he had looked at it some bits, but he's a really strange player who's not really that strong in the opening and really good tactically. So I didn't really give him credit with a lot of like deep opening study. Bishop F5, interesting line against the C3 Sicilian. Still, I know Justice Bot, what do you think? Have you played the C3 Sicilian? Have you found a convincing convincing system against bishop F5? I assumed it would be like refuted by now, but still popping around in Grandmaster games. Bishop E3 forced. So it seems like he lost the tempo. I'm stuttering. I don't know why. Stuttering today. Not usual. C takes D4. He can't really sack the G2 pawn, so I guess I should take here and play like E6. Try to get developed. It seems a little passive. Mainly, I think the idea is just to try to find something unexplored. But bishop G4 seemed like there were like a lot of ways for White to get a good game against that. So, I don't know. It's really hard to decide on a line against the c3 Sicilian for black. Nothing seems any better than anything else. They all lead to like, it's a little better for white, or equal. Really hard for black to play for a win in the c3 Sicilian. So I'm kind of banking on the fact that, knight takes d4 here, if I can make an arrow. He hangs the g2 pawn. So I don't think he can really get away with that. But any move should be okay for white. Queen takes d4, even pawn takes d4. He said some IM played you with it, and he played bishop e3, and he castled queenside, yeah. In the Mexican championship last year. This plan of castling queenside is integral in a lot of the lines. It's sort of like a key tactical idea that justifies the whole thing. But in general, what am I doing here? e5? Not possible. Or is it? No, e5 queen takes e5. So, this is awkward. Maybe a6. a6 looks good. Actually, in this funny position. Then my a7 pawn's not hanging. It controls the b5 square, like so later on a knight won't threaten to go to b5. White has no immediate threat. And trading on d4 just helps white because it brings the knight to d4. So I'm having internet issues. What's our ooh, no, it's the server problem. They just actually did an update. Let me try to refresh my page. It's like the London against the Sicilian. I don't think so. Yeah, I agree with... we got a Lee Chess timeout. I agree with Justice Bot that I wouldn't compare it to the London system against the... it's not like the London system. The C3 Sicilian actually has a lot of really sharp lines within it. So, no. It's not really like the C3 Sicilian. I think if I had to compare it to something... as a system, like, it's kind of like the Catalan against the Queen's Gambit Declined or something. I mean, it's like a solid, semi-dangerous system. It's not passive. It's not like quiet. Hopefully we get Lee Chess back. The London system seems really like lame. But the C3 Sicilian has a lot of venom in it. And I think the London system is just a flash in the pan. I mean, I think in a year or two it's not going to be like Magnus isn't going to be playing the London anymore. Everybody will review like the best way to play the London system for black, and it'll be this discussion will be over. But the C3 Sicilian is a lasting and very fundamental, like second best way to play for white for sure against the Sicilian. Let's say the open Sicilian is definitely the best. The C3 Sicilian is clearly the second best, clearly critical and clearly dangerous. No, I wouldn't think it's fair to compare it to something like a closed like non-entity like the London system. Well, we got problems with Lee Chess. It's not us, for a change. We've had all kinds of bad luck today. With crab biting me, flies attacking me. I got eaten alive by these biting flies on the beach. Usually, you go like on vacation, you're afraid of the mosquitoes, These are much worse than mosquitoes. It actually hurts when they bite you. Alright, what is up with Lee Chess? The Newberger likes London. Somehow Blacks finds no easy way to equalize. I think the problem is, Neuberger, that like everybody was like kind of caught sleeping, napping with the London system. Even top grandmasters like Tomaszewski, they're like, oh man, oh shoot, I didn't look at how to play the London system with Black, and since I was like 11. Oh no, it's a totally viable system for White, but it's not something you can just dismiss. But I think the novelty will wear out pretty quickly. Man, Lichess is really done. What am I going to do? We still have 35 minutes left for the stream. That's pretty lame. Let's give it a couple minutes to come back. We can chat a bit. Yeah, C3 Sicilian. That's something I have a bad score against. Maybe it's like the Trompowsky against D4. Could we compare those guys? Totally different style, though. The Trompowsky's like... It's more like the Trompowsky than the London system, Has a little life to it. Yeah, poor Lichess. Maybe we can get something. There we are. Hang on. You have a game with Wazir power. Join the game. It's not letting me click. Join the game. It's not letting me click. Maybe the dude's not online. Maybe Wazir power is not here, so I can't join the game. I like my choices. Join the game or resign the game. Uh-oh. We are in timeout again. It's back for you. Yeah, it was back for me too, but now it's gone again. Sorry guys, it's been a very unlucky day today. I lost against Guitar Player. Is it coming back? Let's try again. I've been a little bit like sleepy-headed. Not actually tired or sleepy, but I think I need to play more off stream to stay in practice. I'm feeling like I'm kind of... What if I don't want to join the game or resign the game? What if I just want to... Oh man, there it goes again. What if I just want to play another game? Or do something else? Do I have to decide now? Join the game. We'll try again. Losing position against Guitar Player. Was it a losing position? I didn't obviously have time to check it with the engine. Probably losing. It was like I got outplayed positionally. Man, okay, we're really suffering here. I almost want to like stream on ICC or something, but I don't really want to do that. I really want Lichess to work. I have this weird feeling if I like click resign the game, it will work or something. Whoa. Okay. Bishop A4. So we have B5 as a backup plan. Well, I was thinking like B5, E5. It's going to weaken my queen side pretty severely. And F7. So let's nod and say we did. How about just taking on D4? He hits my bishop. I play bishop G6. Yeah, it's kind of unpleasant for black, this position. But I guess it's playable. Let's play E6 first, and then decide what to do, maybe. There's no rush. Play E6 and then decide what to do. E5 loses a pawn right away. Good job for Wazir sportsmanship. Well, this is interesting. Right, so... And here we go again. Like, should I trade queens? Yeah, I think queen d5 is off the table. I mean, queen d5... I could play queen d3. That's an interesting move. Probably, like, loses some sick tactic. Not really, though. Queen d3 is... Queen takes e3, bishop takes e3, knight e5 with advantage to white. So queen takes queen. Yeah, I mean, I've taken away the b5 square. That's the main thing. I didn't want the knight going in there. That would be a major problem. So now it's like bishop d3 is tempting, but that piece may become exposed. So I can stop him from castling, but I may end up losing time in the end. So it's probably safer to play bishop g6 and try to get developed before it's too late. Before something bad happens. He castled queenside. You know, somebody like... what is your power? Justice Bot's been giving him ideas again. This castling queenside. Ornikar, welcome. Someone tells me good job, please, because it's late and I sweated it a lot. Tell me good job. Good job, man. Awesome job. It wasn't just a good job. So, no spoilers. We got very little time left, like 30 minutes. Man, why'd you have to play knight f3? I was setting up that nasty cheapo rook takes c3, and you sidestepped it. Alright, so bishop here, knight e5, the guy on d1. Everybody bearing down on my knight on d7. But it looks like I can play b5. And now b5 is okay. Because, you know, he did castle queenside. So, things are a little different now. Castling queenside in the c3 Sicilian is pretty rare. I was talking to Justice Bot about bishop g4. And I remember losing to, like, the Icelandic guy, Chris Johnson, with some sharp lines where white goes like queen a4 and castles queenside. But that's in lines where like white is playing queen a4 and the queens are on the board. Castling queenside in the c3 Sicilian with the queens off the board. This is a Sicilian, like, looks like an open Sicilian now. Alright. So nothing much happened. Just kind of a positional game now. I'm just happy I've got play, maybe b4 at some point. But I really do want to... want to get developed. So I'm not sure. We got time priority. The time priority is probably pretty important. Let's develop our pieces. So Wazir Power gave me all that time. I wasn't even thanking him. He was... For some reason I thought the system like did that. I don't know why. I just assumed like the system was giving everybody time. It didn't occur to me. But yeah, thanks Wazir Power. You know, if you gave me all the time. But it is a casual game, so that'd be huge sportsmanship in a rated game. It's huge sportsmanship no matter what. When am I gonna stream? Or are you talking to Justice Bot? So this looks like a pretty good ending for black. My minority attack kind of, it looks like it coincides with threats against his king. So I think this worked out. We probably are a tiny bit better. White's probably okay if he's careful here. But a lot of technical problems with this stream, guys. We had internet problems. Lee Chess had problems. How bad can B4 be? Justice Bot. No, but I mean, I looked at B4. I would actually go back and look at it again if we had more time here. But B4, it can't be bad. But I think he just takes it and plays King B1. I didn't think it was. It can't be bad, of course not. I just wasn't convinced it was the best move, and I kind of thought keeping the tension would maybe, give him more ways of going wrong. But B4 is definitely was my number one candidate move, and it can't be bad, of course. Just my normal policy is to try to keep the tension as much as possible. I felt like B4 sort of released tension. Unless I have some kind of concrete tactic like B4 takes and like sack the exchange on C2, and maybe there was something there. I wanted to kind of give him more rope to hang himself if I could. Let's just go for the bishop pair here. I'm getting kind of low on time. But I agree, Justice Spot, that's a fine move. B4, my number one candidate. Just thought, last minute I thought, let's try to keep the tension a little bit more. Maybe I'm right, maybe you're right. Need more time to really know. So, it's like, kind of the philosophy for me not playing it is that the threat is stronger than the execution. For whatever that's worth. Alright. So, Wazir Power got the D file, but he's not able to do a lot with it. Looks like the bishop is a pretty good piece for black here. But his knights are strong, so objectively white is equal. It's a long game. With the 15 seconds, how many 15-second bonuses did I have? All right, I don't really want him penetrating at D6, so we're gonna go home back to E7. This rook. I don't want him in there. We have like knight D5, blocker knight. A little bit better for black, I think. A little bit. But it's just a casual game. Yeah, now I played F4, and it might give me a chance to, G5, F5, though. Be careful. We can't do that now. Now, A5 is interesting. Doesn't work, though. G5, F5. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Alright, what are you threatening? Nothing. Now G5. We actually got like I think we have a minuscule advantage for the first time ever. Alright, maybe we had better before. Maybe Justice Bot was right. Maybe B4 was really strong. I don't know. Gurkham Kurt, Ugarao, and Olden Week, and Norwegicus. Norwegicus, I feel like, got dissed. We should really play Norwegicus, because he was challenging me yesterday. Now he dropped again. That's going to be the first game we play. He did not get the game in yesterday. So, against B3, I like the following setup. Yeah, I hates 4-2. For the stream, I hates it because it's pretty fast. I mean, 5-3's okay. But if you guys want to play like some 4-2 like off stream, that's fine. Actually, I like 5-0. You know, if I'm going to play in my free time, then I would play 5-0 probably. Alright. I sometimes play 3-0 if I'm feeling fast, but need some warm-up for that. So here we go. Now, I played bishop f5 instead of bishop h5. Not really sure why I did that. I think bishop h5 is more thematic. Okay, we're just choosing moves at random. F6, interesting. Doesn't feel right, though. Maybe a6. How I want to play with bishop on f5. You could even gambit a pawn with e5. I don't think that's sound. a6 is pretty slow. We could do c6. That's not what I normally like to do. Maybe knight c6, queen d7. Yeah, I think this is inconsistent. Bishop f5. I should have played bishop h5 here. Bishop h5. Queen d7 may be interesting. Or just the good old knight f6 is certainly a reasonable move. Not intention when I challenge 4-2. I'm so sad. But I play good 5-5 or 5-3. Yeah, it's better because I'm chatting about the games and talking, and with the 4-2 it gets really fast. So I can't talk as much in detail about the games. Next time, 5-3 or even more. Yeah, I'll play 8-3 if we have time. We're only going to play a couple more games, guys. I've got time for like 2 more games after this. But I regret my setup. I've been very, very distracted tonight. I should definitely play bishop back to h5. That's the idea. So he's played h3 for free. It's not a bad move. It's not the worst move. It's a little weakening, but it's also somewhat useful. I guess I'm going to revert to a Slav type thing. It's not really my usual approach, but I kind of think once I have the bishop on f5, I'm sort of committed to playing some kind of thing like this. So knight c6, bishop e5 would give white a pretty good game. Bishop takes f6. This looks interesting. I don't know that it's right or best or bad or good. I wouldn't do it. But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily really bad for white either. I can recapture either way. Maybe with bishop on f5, we could take. Well, we always can take either way. This way feels a little more solid here. I'm usually more of a fan of taking with the g pawn, but this position somehow feels like a Caro-Kann. And e takes f Caro-Kann. Salty Ego says, am I on the list? Yeah, you were on the list, but you're gone now. Just Spot challenged me 5-2. He's trying to tease me with the 5-2. But we've only time for 2 more games after this one. 5-2 is okay. I prefer 5-3. I think he's provoking me. Testing my limits. Actually, guys, I said this before, but I'm not a huge increment fan. I do it because of the stream. Before I started streaming, I almost never played with increment. You guys think I'm some old dude who like plays with increment because I lose on time all the time, but it's not true. Actually, I always played straight up Blitz without increment. So I'm not even that well adapted to increment. In fact, that's how I lost in Zalakaros with a 30-second increment. It feels awkward. Bishop on d6. If I play knight d7, he plays e4. Is my bishop on d6 going to be an issue at any point? Rook e8 is a reasonable move. But I think that white, has a lot of dark square weaknesses. I mean, if you give up this dark square bishop on the long diagonal, I think the normal setup for white would be like c3 and d4 to try to play it like a queen pawn position. You could try to use these dark squares somehow. That's why I played a5 here, to grab some space and maybe get some dark square control. You have the book The Art of the Middle Game beside me. Have you ever read that book? Bear with me now for a minute. The Art of the Middle Game. I didn't read The Art of the Middle Game, no. But who is the author? Trivia question. Who is the author of The Art of the Middle Game? Now I feel very, very stupid for playing knight a6. And Norwegicus took my advice and put all his pawns on dark squares. Alright, this guy's going to have to go to c7 here. I don't think it's curious. It is curious. Wow. So curious and Kotov. Wow. It's funny that I don't have that book, actually. I'm almost 90% sure I don't have that book. I have a lot of books that I forgot that I have. But for some reason, that one isn't ringing a bell. I don't think I've even really read it. But you couldn't go wrong. I mean, Kiriz and Kotov are both awesome. So, Kotov, of course, most famous for his, Think Like a Grandmaster book. And Kiriz doesn't deserve, doesn't need an introduction. Although he wasn't a prolific author, he was a prolific player. He taught by playing. Well, it has to be a good book. You became an FM with cheapos. Yeah, that's his latest. So we're going Dutch style here with f5. White played this a little passively, but that's kind of the nature of the position. I mean, once you give up the bishop on f6, you don't really have a lot of dynamism. I think white can play it like a Trompowsky, try to play like c4 later on, maybe. But black has the initiative here. It's kind of like it is like a Trompowsky, actually. So now, f4. And we should look for ways to break through for black. Knight on c7 is sort of sad. He'd like to go to e4, I suppose. Like this. e8, f6. I might have to play f6 though to keep him off of e5. So we're looking at a lot of maneuvering here for black. f6 to keep him out of e5. Probably d6. Maybe g8 for the rook. To play g5 at some point. As anti-positional as that looks, it might be a key idea. So we're going to maneuver a bit. And now f6. Try to have everything. try to have the e4 square and not give the e5 square to white. I think the position's a tiny bit easier for black to play, but look, he's starting to get like threats now. Maybe knight h4 isn't so good. I thought like playing for g4, playing for g4, very double-edged. Guys, it's like super long game. You prepare from the Arad Open 2016, Timisoara. Oh, I got an invitation to play there, by the way. I know those guys, and I have played in Arad before. Not in the Open, but every year they send me an invitation. Every year I have to decline, because every year I'm here. But I would play 7 Hunt if I could. Sorry I can't, because I have some friends in Romania. I've always enjoyed, the few tournaments that I played when I was in Romania. So, very gracious host in Arad, Alan Campianu, invites me every year to play. All right. White piling up the pressure on the f5 pawn here. What are you going to do, man? I mean, sack a piece or something? We can play knight e4 when we want to. Again, it's my guiding philosophy of... The guiding philosophy of, I guess, maybe just knight e4 now? Should I just do it? Keeping the tension. But I'm starting to look at these squares. He was maybe going to penetrate to c5 in some positions. I'm starting to think about this diagonal now. Black is a little better. Although with such a closed position, his knights, look decent. They're not really well placed exactly where they are, though. Oh, he's a good friend. Okay. You're a journalist from chess. Cool. Well, give him my regards and tell him that I'm sorry, that I can't play in Arad, because I'm in the U.S. And G5 wins a piece. Yeah, it's a bad timing for me. But sometime, tell him that maybe I can play if he organizes a tournament in the winter or another part of the year. Let him know that I'm available to come to Arad sometime, maybe to play a closed tournament, or if he needs a foreign IM or something, I'm available. So, yeah, White's lost now. Got a little bit confused. Knight h4 was a bit weird, but White's position, I think, difficult to play with a little bit less space. The more difficult position to play for sure. So, alright, we've got... Basically, I was going to do like 2 more games. Probably going to go a little over time. Soul to Ego, what about you? You got kicked out of the line. Soul to Ego, do you remember? Should you be like at the top of the list? This is the honor policy here. Honor system. You get to be called the foreign IM. Yeah, this is the only value. It's staying with my American Federation. That I probably would have changed it to Hungary a long time ago, but it is beneficial to... Rook g3 was a sort of silly move. I should just play for mate. Play for mate is better. Now I actually made it harder for me to make progress. But if you are, if you're in a foreign country and you're a title player, the value is really... In the tournaments need foreign players, to be counted as international events. So, yeah, it's... What am I doing? It's very valuable to be a foreigner. Anybody who's trying to organize a chess tournament, you know, for norm possibilities, needs to have a certain amount of foreign players. You can't have GM and IM results without foreign players in the field. Yeah, I still have the U.S. flag. No, I mean, in Romania, I would be considered a foreign player. So it's valuable for those guys to have me play. Yeah, we're trying to end this, but Norvegicus doesn't want to give up. The bishop pair looking pretty good here. How do we put him away? I don't know. It's going to take some time. He reminds me of Tacticus on ICC. My friend Zoltan Medved. I told that story before. Yeah, it's over, guy. Let's try to get another game in. Salty Ego said, yeah. Well, let's play. You should be up there. So we'll play Salty Ego and maybe one more game after that. Newberger challenged me to 180, 180. We're going to be playing that next week, man. Salty Ego, this is good. It's 5-3. It's fairly fast. And then I think I'll do one last bonus game. Bishop F3. Salty Ego, you ready? I think I started to warm up a little bit toward the end. I was really cloudy in the first 3 or 4 games. I'm feeling a little bit clearer of thought. Crab took something out of me. Just remember, if you reach your hand in the water to grab a crab, always grab them by the butt. You know, you don't grab them in the front where the claws are. And even if you grab them by the back, they can still get you, you know. But there's a real technique to grabbing crabs. Alright. Crab Grabber. That's a good name for like an online account. You promised me this game right now. You promised it next week. There was a famous story when... Yeah, that reminds me of Tony Miles. He was supposed to play some tournament like in Melbourne in Australia. And he just like didn't show up. He was flying in from Asia or something. And he was supposed to be there for the first round. And just didn't show up, you know. They were like... I guess they got him on the phone eventually somewhere. And they were like, Tony, like, what's up, man? Where are you? You were supposed to be here for the first round. The tournament started. They're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'll be there yesterday. He was just totally out of it. But he was serious. Like, he thought yesterday was like the future. I promised. War of ideas. Just don't grab a crab. You don't want to catch crabs. Megosh says, what's the point playing versus noobs? Where do we decide that people are noobs? Because I'm a noob. I don't know about you, Megosh. But I'm definitely a noob. So that's the problem with defining noobs, is that, like, we're all noobs relative to someone. And where do you draw the line? The average Grandmaster is a noob compared to Carlsen. Knight C6. Justice Bot is protecting his rating very carefully. He handpicks his opponents. He tricks like streamers like me into playing sudden death games. Bishop g2. Alright, I'm going to play queen b6 here. It's not really the greatest square for the queen, but, you know, it might force him to kind of make some weakening move, perhaps. This is a good position for black, though. I mean, white's weakened the king side with g4. He's given up his dark squared bishop. The knights are actually getting in each other's way. So, this is a super position for black. Objectively, though, I mean, this square is not necessarily great. RMG DOS says, proud noob. Everybody's a noob. It's all relative. Carlson's not a noob. Kasparov's not a noob. Where do you draw the noob line? One last game after this, guys. Everybody's like dropping out. Carl's hanging in there. So, put your money where your stream is. I'll play you rated. You're handpicking your opponents. No, I mean, okay. Yeah, you challenged me to 5-2. And we'll play off stream sometime. Let's play off stream sometime. Bishop d7. I've got one game left, and I should really give it to one of the proud people here who's been waiting patiently. Knight g3, queen b4, positional queen exchange. It's kind of pushing the envelope a little bit. Maybe I'm provoking him here to play c3. Maybe this is a bit much, but I thought it was interesting. If I take, you know, he gets the b file. So I just sort of provoked him to weaken his position a little bit. Everybody heard that. You never handpicked. You handpicked me, man. Let's see. You know I'm soft. Rook on fe2. Alright, well, let's just castle at some point here. I mean, there's really no attack for white in this position. So now he's prepared. He's got ideas now, Salty Ego. He wants to play seriously. I'm not sure that I have that much anymore, you know? He's kind of made this work. Though I have a plan now. Okay, I have a plan. This has got to be good for black still. Bishop f6. Not bishop f6, maybe queen d8. Justice Bot's getting all... No, it's the end of my stream, guys. I'm already 5 minutes over my stream. I'm just playing a bonus game. I'm not afraid. He's 2,700. I mean, he's risking a lot to play me. I'm underrated, and he's willing to play me. That's cool. Look at this move. Bishop f6. But the dark squares look really bad for white. The dark square should be decisive. Plus white's bishop is really, really bad. Alright, that's probably making it even worse now because my f line, I've got the rook. The idea. Alright, now, there is the threat of rook. There is the threat of rook h1. Which is not really a joke. Queen takes g4, I guess. Is pretty simple. I probably had better moves. We have a lot of options. He's trying to sneak me. Trying to sneak me with bishop h3 there. And he kind of escaped, but objectively there is a check. Knight. So Tiga, I'm going to play one more game, guys. But Justice Bot is not next. He was actually after Carl. So it's not really fair. I'm just dodging Justice Bot. I'm scared. He might flag me with pawn against bishop again or something. I don't know what'll happen, but whatever it is, it's gonna be ugly, you know. Just don't want that to happen again. I have terrible nightmares every day when I think about it. When are you available off stream? There's no set time, but if I'm feeling frisky, I will accept your challenge. Usually I'm exhausted like this time of night though. Alright. Probably a little earlier in the evenings. Around 6, 7. Maybe tomorrow. He's really pissed off now. He thinks I'm challenging his 2700-ness. I'm just teasing him. Not good for you, Saltigo. The dark squared bishop is... The dark squared bishop is... really not something you can part with. Okay, guys, this is last game. Just checking the chat there. Reminds me of your games against Olegas. Yeah, it was an Olegas thing. But it was more defensible than the usual Olegas. I mean, what happened against Justice Bot isn't that big a deal. I just like teasing him about it. Olegas is a dirty player, and he's just like a scumbag, you know? I mean, Justice Bot, it's just a joke. I mean, really. I just like joking about it now, you know? I think it... I'm just like... I like to kind of needle people, you know? Olegas is the kind of person who... You reach like rook and 3 pawns against rook and 3 pawns, and you both have 3 minutes left with 0 increment on the same side of the board, and he'll play on to win on time, you know, like even like losing pawns and like going down to like rook against rook and 3 pawns and letting you queen so he can win on time. I mean, that's not normal. That's like psychotic. I mean, it's not a comparison. We're just joking with Justice Bot about it. It's not like that. It's just that it was the first game I ever played with Justice Bot, so it's the only game I ever played with him. So I like joking about it. But it was really my fault because I forgot I forgot there was no increment. Olagus does that against everyone. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, he purposely, you know, plays for like draw and rook endings because he's practiced for years how to like flag people with rook against rook and two pawns on the same side. You know, he's like the world's leading expert on doing that. I mean, but that's perverted. I mean, it's crazy. You know, we can't compare. Can't compare. You know, that's just the scummiest thing you can do in Blitz. Is something like that. So anyway, guys, this is the last game for the stream. I'm gonna be back Thursday. Hopefully, it's gonna be better. We had a lot of like disconnection and problems. Lee Chess also went down, so it wasn't the best stream today. But sometimes these things are just out of our control. But it is like perverted. I mean, perverted doesn't have to mean like it doesn't have to be sexual innuendo, does it? I mean, it's just totally perverse. I mean, in modern linguistics, it seems like perverted is only used sexually, but I think that it can be used for anything. Like, we can use this word to describe something like, you know, absurdly twisted and crazy. And you're just like twisting the meaning of something to the point where it's just sick and ridiculous. That's what he's doing with chess. It's like winning on time in a blitz game with rook and 3 against rook and 3, where both sides have 3 minutes on the clock. Like avoiding repetition so you can lose like 2 pawns and flag the other guy with like rook against rook and 3 or something. I mean, that's insane. You know, you need to see a doctor if you do stuff like that. You need to get a life, because if it's so important, if that's so important, man, you've got your priorities really out of whack. Knight c5, and we win the exchange, guys. But Carl had some serious like positional problems with the doubled pawns. Very good bishops for black. Flagging for dummies. This has been at least like I didn't play that well this stream, but at least it was kind of a funny stream, which is good for a change. We were kind of laughing, and but maybe I will play Justice Spot off stream sometime soon, because I'm really a little out of form. I need to play more. Need to play more. So that goes for everybody. If I'm off stream and I'm online on Lee Chess, you know, feel free to challenge me. I need to play more, especially like non-increment games, 5-0 or maybe 3-0 if I'm not feeling too tired. King F1. So check out my YouTube channel, guys. I know I haven't had a video up this week. We're going to try to get one up. I've got different kind of stuff, openings, instructional, Grandmaster games, my games analyzed. We've been up operational just for like 5 months now, so we're going to try to build up the stream and build up the YouTube channel. But our focus is on instruction here. So that's why I'm welcoming all opponents of all rating levels. No discrimination. But I do get a lot of strong opponents. I often get a lot of 2200s. Today I didn't have, for some reason. We didn't have any master opponents today. I'm not sure exactly why. But I did kind of dodge Justice Bot at the end here. But we were running out of time. Normally I am playing a couple of strong players, maybe even several. And today that wasn't really the case. Alright, Rook C3 check. So I'm over schedule. I was supposed to finish it. This has been a long stream. It's almost 3 hours. For me, at least. I know there's some crazy people who stream 96 hours straight. Future GM22, you're a master. You could have versed me. You could have challenged me. Actually, you should have. You should challenge me, future GM. If we meet in person, I would buy me a beer. That's cool. That's a nice gesture, sir. Same to you. Same to you. I could use a beer right about now. It's martini time. It's always like the third hour when I really start to fade. And that's not something new since I've been getting older. I'm gonna hang the exchange. Look, it's a fork. No, but seriously, it's always the third hour. That's why when I teach chess, I don't recommend like doing more than 2 hour lessons. It always seems like when you get to like the third hour, you really start like burning out mentally. And we're approaching 3 hours. I feel like it's beer time. Definitely. You could fall for a night fork. You think you played some tournaments where I was in? Very possible. Europe or here? But I've been so inactive. I want to keep my pawns united. I've been so inactive in the US lately. I was toying with going to the Continental Open here in Massachusetts. Still it's in about a month. I even toyed with the Bradley Open in Connecticut, but that's such a lame tournament. It's like a 5-round event. So I have a plan. We're just gonna like imprison the knight and geometrically dominate. It's brutal. It's Knightland. So never be too you don't want to give up, Carl. Don't give up too soon. I get the last pawn. Give you a chance to stalemate me. Any other tournaments in your Massachusetts Justice spot? Yeah, I mean there was the Bradley Open coming up, but it's kind of a lame tournament, in my experience. Pretty small prizes, and it's a lame place to go, like the Bradley Airport in Connecticut. The Continental Open, though, if I play in something, I think we're gonna go with that. Strongly tempted to do so, but I'm not sure yet. It's about a month from now. I have played in it before. So that's a 6-round tournament. It's pretty good. Alright guys, it's really late. Thanks for joining me. Check out my YouTube channel. Sorry I ducked you, Justice Bot. We'll do it soon. Guys, if you're interested in lessons, send me an email. videochesstrainer@gmail.com. And all my info is in the stream. You can support the stream with GoFundMe. And we'll be back Thursday with another stream, 6:30 p.m., similar to this one. I think Friday I'm going to do a simul this week, if that sounds good. 6:30 as well, Eastern Time p.m. Thanks, everybody. See you soon, and good luck. Bye-bye.